So then moving on to the Astros preview, I think there's a couple things that we should talk about. I think first we should go through who the Padres have on the mound. On Friday night, they're going to have Dinelson Lamet. And then Saturday, they're going to have Yu Darvish. And then Sunday, they're going to have Blake Snell. So a good option of starters right there. The big question is going to be how long can Dinelson Lamet go? And hopefully we see a little bit of a Yu Darvish revenge game against the Astros, as we know the World Series history with those two. So hopefully Darvish comes out there, absolutely dominates. I think that's what we all want to see. But Isaac, what do you think about these three guys, and how do you think they're going to perform against a very good Houston Astros baseball team?
I think it's kind of sad that I'm scared that Lamet's going to go more innings than Blake Snell. Because, we only let Lamet go 3 or 4, but in reality, Blake Snell only lets himself go like 3 or 4 too, because he throws so many balls. So it's like Blake Snell needs to have some sort of bounce back. I don't know when it's going to happen, but like we were talking about what we gave up for Yu Darvish and what we gave up for Blake Snell, and it almost seems like we got a discount on Yu Darvish and we paid like Gucci price tag on Blake Snell. And what we've seen so far, it's just like he's had some good games where like against the Dodgers, he had that one defensive mishap, but overall he did have a good game, threw a lot of pitches, but again, that one defensive mishap, or even Manning was like, what are you doing? That cost us quite a bit of that game. But I think Dinelson Lamet is also going to be something that we're all going to talk about. We're all going to be looking into. This is going to be his, I want to say his first start ever since something happened to his arm. I forgot what it was, but it's going to be his first start ever since then, I want to say. And hopefully he goes 4 or 5 innings and the bullpen can handle the rest. And I think what we've seen so far from Lamet ever since he came back, pumping 97, he's starting to get some good movement on that slider again. A lot of positive things coming out of his outings, and hopefully we'll see another positive thing come out of this one. And obviously from Darvish, come on, that's you. It's easy, light work. It's going to be good for you. We all know what to expect from you.
So I think Yu Darvish is going to go absolutely bonkers. I'm expecting like 7+ innings, double-digit strikeouts. This is a definite revenge game for you. He sort of revamped his whole pitching, his whole style of pitching, because the Astros absolutely obliterated him in the World Series and it messed with him. So he, took a couple of years and, changed how he pitched, changed everything about it. And he's sort of grateful for it, but at the same time, that really kind of messed up his career for a little bit. And he was known as a choker and kind of struggled heavily afterwards. So, I think Yu is going to go crazy. I want to see Lamet go long. I want to see him go 5-6 innings. I want to see him maintain that velocity, because if he can do that and, we sort of limit him and his innings and his pitch count and, keep him kind of how we did with Chris Paddock his rookie year, keep him 5-6 innings or under like 95 pitches each outing so that he's ready for that offseason. Man, our 1 through 4 not offseason, that postseason, our 1 through 4 is going to be so nasty. And you know what? I don't think we would lose. But right now, I think what's important is that Lamet, still continues to stretch out. I do want to see more innings out of him. Hopefully, Tingler lets him go that way, because then if not, it kind of feels like we're only doing a 6-man rotation and we're just killing the bullpen. That way, it doesn't make sense to me, because like, oh, cool, Ryan Weathers is going as our 5th starter, but you know what? We're only going to let him go 4 innings and the bullpen can take the other 5, and then we're going to throw Lamet the next game, but we're only going to let him go 3 to 4 innings too, and then let the bullpen carry the 6. You can't maintain a whole season like that. If you're going to do that, piggyback Ryan Weathers and Lamet, and then maybe have one other pitcher, because you know what? Having a 3-pitcher game it's not a bad idea. It doesn't kill the bullpen. It saves some arms, and you know what? You can stretch out your starters still that way.
Yeah, I definitely like where you're at with you. I hope he has a dominant performance as well. And then talking about the bullpen a little bit, I definitely think we don't really know how long not Ryan Weathers. We don't really know how long Dinelson Lamet's going to go. We've seen him have sometimes come out there where we don't really know, and then it's 2 innings, 3 innings, 4 innings. That's about been his range so far this year. If he came out there pitched 5, that'd be awesome. I'd probably expect 4 innings, and I do agree. And we'll get into the 6-man stuff at the end of the episode, but I am kind of confused on why do you go with a 6-man if your guys aren't going to go 5 innings? Just kind of odd to me. It feels like it's it's diminishing the bullpen stamina early on in the year and just going to make them really tired out come October, which really don't want to see that with this team. But then kind of talking a little bit about who the Astros have on the mound. They have Framber Valdez on the mound on Friday. Don't know a ton about him, but he did have a pretty solid 2020. This will be his debut for 2021. On Sunday against Blake Snell. I know I'm bouncing past Saturday, but on Sunday against Blake Snell, it's Zach Greinke. So that's a really tough matchup. And I'll just say I think that's the least likely game that the Padres will win this series. And then on Saturday, Yu Darvish will be going against Jake Odorizzi, and he was on the Twins last year. Has been a solid pitcher throughout his career, around 4 ERA for most of his time. Last year struggled in limited innings, and then this year he hasn't pitched that much, but he has a 10 ERA right now, so he struggled. But what's just your overall gauge on what this lineup should do against this Astros pitching staff? Just for me, real quick, I think that Friday, Saturday are two games where we should see the offense do really well. And then Sunday, I think you're going to see a tough matchup against Zach Greinke, who's been one of the best arms in the games for many years. So wouldn't expect a ton out of the bats on Sunday.
I think what the Padres need to do in order to put up a lot of runs on the Astros, they just got to keep doing what they've been doing. Take a lot of bags, take the extra base, be aggressive on the base paths, and I think that's been the formula for success all throughout our recent success, through our winning streak. That Dodger series, everything along the way has been with great base running and hitting. They're finally doing some timely hitting. They've been doing timely hitting a lot more lately, and it's really good to see. So, I think those are two very vulnerable pitchers going on the mound for the Astros against us on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, Zach Greinke, we all know that's one of the best pitchers in baseball. I remember the first time, this was my first baseball game. I went to go watch the Padres, and I think Eric Lauer was on the bump, and Zach Greinke was pitching. The one guy to go deep twice in that game was Zach Greinke. It was crazy. It was so funny. Me and my dad were talking about it. We just thought it was hilarious. So, but I think we go 2-1. I definitely think that loss may be to Zach Greinke. But if Blake Snell is able to go 6 strong, very good chance we win that game as well. So that's a toss-up game, and hopefully it goes our way.
Yeah, I agree. Sunday's a swing game. It really depends on the Snell start. I think our offense can hit Greinke. He's lost his velocity since, when he was a Dodger. The thing that he does really well, though, is he mixes up his off speeds really well, and then he'll just throw his, little eephus pitch that comes out like at 50 to 60 miles an hour. I think he has like the slowest recorded stat track pitch from a pitcher, and like since they started recording, it was like ridiculous. It's like at 40 something miles an hour, and the hitter's just standing there watching it. So, give one of those to Tatis. Let's see how far he can take it, if he swings at it at all, or if it's even a strike. But yeah, I completely expect the Padres to hit them. I mean, he throws a lot of off speed, so hopefully our guys can take advantage of it. But see some of that power that it's kind of been lacking this season. Hopefully Machado plays this season. I'd love to see him healthy. Love to see Kim get more at bats too, though. So you know what? Either way, I think we're going to come out of this with a sweep. I'm going to say it.
Definitely would love to see that. So with that said, let's just wrap this preview up real quick. So who's your guys' player this series? We do our breakout player, but like who's just the guy that's going to carry the offense for you guys this series?
Surprise again. Tommy Pham. Not just kidding. Heck no, not Tommy Pham. I'm going to go Jake Cronenworth. Jake Cronenworth is going to be the guy that, he's going to get on a lot, and he needs to – I'm anticipating he's going to be batting second or first with Grisham out. So really setting himself up for, Tatis or Machado to bring him in is going to be very important in this series. So I think Jake Cronenworth, in order for us to be able to possibly sweep and win, in order for us to sweep or just win this series in general, Jake Cronenworth is going to have to be the guy that just really has a good series.
I'm going to stay with the guy at the top of the lineup, or who's usually at the top of the lineup. I'm going to go Profar. I like the way he's been swinging the bat. He's a really tough at-bat most of the time. He can run. He's quick. He can steal. And he hits for pretty solid contact. He's not much of a power hitter compared to his days on the A's, but you know what? He's had some timely hitting, and I think he's going to carry us the series.
So I'm not going to pick one guy just because both these guys have been kind of banged up. But I think if we end up seeing either of these guys for 2 or 3 games, I think they're going to have a fantastic series. And those two are going to be Will Myers and Manny Machado. I think the left field wall is pretty shallow in Houston. And I think those are two guys that they can easily hit out of the park on just like not even like a ball that they really drive that well. So I think that we might see them go yard a few times combined this series, and I think that both them are going to win via the long ball. So I really hope we can see a couple big shots from those guys, and especially from Machado, because I mean his home numbers aren't that great. Had the big RBI double today, but I think that we're going to start seeing him to start slowly breaking out, and hopefully he's all healthy. I think this is the first time I remember him really being like having an actual like injury in San Diego. So a little bit concerning there, but I think they were just playing it pretty safe. And I think, I mean, we saw him come up to the plate in these last 2 games. So I think he's all right, So hopefully he's out there on Friday and he's playing, and hopefully see a couple home runs out of those guys. But I think that's going to do it for this recap segment.